Okay, Math 10, here we go. This is going to be super fun. This is Chapter 6, Factoring Polynomials. You're going to use this a ton. So in this unit, we introduce the process of factoring. This includes factoring by removing a common factor, which is what we'll do today, factoring a trinomial coming up, and factoring difference of squares also coming up. So what we've been doing in the previous sections is multiplying the factor into another factor. That's called expanding. So we would have 2x squared plus 10x. Here you did FOIL, so first term outside, inside, last terms times together, so x squared plus 3x plus x plus 3, and then we would combine like terms. So x squared plus 4x plus 3. Now we are going to go backwards. So we're going to be dividing out the common factor instead of multiplying it in. So here, for example, change this. We're not going to use those, just their space. So here we will factor out a common number. So we can divide both of these by 2, and we'll factor out any variables or letters that are common. So we can factor out an x, and we can factor out a y. So what we're doing in our mind then is we're thinking each of these terms is going to be divided by our common term. So 6 divided by 2 is 3, x squared divided by x is x, y divided by y is 1, plus 10 divided by 5 is 5, x divided by x is 1, y divided by y is 1. And that's called the factored form. Both of those groups, so those in the brackets, are factors. Okay, over to page 323. We're going to look at the bottom. So example 5, and we're going to do the same thing. So just some more examples for you with things that look larger and seem worse but are not. They are exactly the same. So we're thinking the biggest number we can divide out of all of those terms is 2. The highest power of each variable that we can divide out is A. That's it for the A's. B's, our largest is b squared. So now every term is divided by this common term. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. A cubed divided by a is a squared. B squared divided by b squared is 1. Plus 8 divided by 2 is 4. A divided by a is 1. B cubed divided by b squared is b. Plus 2 divided by 2 is 1, a divided by a is 1, b to the 4 divided by b squared is b squared. And then we can double check by multiplying this back in, and we will end up with what we started with. So 10, yep, a cubed b squared, and 8, yep, yep, b cubed, and 2, a b to the 4. D part. Let's factor out a 3 and p. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. P cubed divided by p is p squared, minus 6 divided by 3 is 2, p squared divided by p is p, plus 15 divided by 3 is 5, p divided by p is 1. Ta-da! This, we can divide all those terms by 5 and by x. and by y squared, and z squared can come out of each of them. Okay, here we go. So 25 divided by 5 is 5. X divided by x is 1. X squared divided, or sorry, y squared divided by y squared is 1. Z cubed divided by z squared is z. You can write in all the times by 1, times by 1, times by 1, but you don't need to. Negative 20 divided by 5 is negative 4. X squared divided by x is x. Y to the 4 divided by y squared is y squared. Z squared divided by z squared is 1. Plus 30 divided by 5 is 6. X to the 4 divided by x is x cubed. Y squared divided by y squared is 1. Z to the 5 divided by z squared is z cubed. Hooray! And it looks bad, but it isn't. Over the page. Okay, this example gives us a little story. We'll just read and fill in what we care about. The surface area of a cone is given by the formula A equals pi r squared plus pi rs, where r is the radius of the base of the cone and s is the slant height. Determine the surface area of a cone to the nearest 100th centimeter squared, which has a slant height of 7.4 centimeters and a base radius of 2.6 centimeters. So formula first, A equals pi r squared plus pi rs. Substitute. So pi times r is 2.6 squared. Remember, every time you substitute, that number will come in brackets. 2.6 times s is 7.4. Then you'll punch that into your calculator and you end up with 81.68 centimeters squared, because we're doing area, so centimeters times centimeters. Write the formula for A in factored form. So A equals pi r squared plus pi rs. Here it just wants you to realize that yes, we can have pi that's common as a number. Anything that's common can be factored out. So pi would be common and r would be common to both terms. And now we'll divide. Pi divided by pi is 1. R squared divided by r is r, plus pi divided by pi is 1, r divided by r is 1, and s. Calculate the surface area of the cone to the nearest 100th centimeter squared using the factored form of A. Okay. A equals, so pi r plus s equals pi times r is 2.6, r again is 2.6, plus s is 7.4, and we'll multiply that again on our calculator and still get 81.68, which is good because it's the exact same question, centimeters squared. Which method, 1 or 3, is simpler to use? And I don't think it matters one bit. I would use whatever they give you. Don't use a formula that you have come up with as an answer in case you did it wrong somewhere. That's all there is. Okay, so you're going to do questions 4 to 9, every other part, number 10, and 12 to 16. Let's put a little smiley face for you. Hooray! Okay, be good. We'll see you tomorrow.